Joining me live now is Allan Behm, a former senior public servant and defence expert. Allan is also the Director of the International and Security Affairs Program at the Australia Institute. Joins us now. Allan, good to see you. So I guess we'll just cut to the chase here. Is this an administrative error or an attempted cover-up?
Well, good morning, Kenny. That is exactly what Dennis Richardson has been charged to find out. And I don't want to guess what Dennis is going to come up with. But my sort of instinct is that if it's a choice between a conspiracy, like a cover-up, or a cock-up, you go for the cock-up every time. So I think that this was an administrative error, probably, and that's what Dennis will find out.
Now, this may also require some speculating on your part, but what could potentially be in these documents?
Well, now that is really a wonderful question, and I will indulge myself a bit by speculating. We know that there was a bit of disagreement within the Australian intelligence community before that decision was taken. We found that out in 2003 when Philip Flood conducted a review and he discovered that there was a difference of opinion about weapons of mass destruction between the Office of National Assessment, which is the peak body, and the Defence Intelligence Organisation, which advises the Defence Force in particular. It would be really interesting, I think, to find out whether the missing documents covered any of that contest between those two agencies and how that might have been fed into the decision that took Australia into the war in Iraq. There are 78 missing documents. We have no idea exactly what they all are. What we do know is that the decision was taken essentially on the basis of an oral briefing from the Prime Minister. That's a bit curious, I think, given that it's a very significant decision. Normally, you'd expect to have submissions to the Cabinet laying out pros and cons, all of the sorts of avenues that Australia would have to assist, the costs of all of that, what the long-term budgetary implications might be. All of those things are normally taken into account. They don't appear to have been taken into account in the documents that have been released so far, so it will be interesting to see whether these missing documents cast a bit of light on the decision-making process itself.
And also as well, in his first press conference of the year, Anthony Albanese making a strong point about these missing documents. Why do you think this is important to Anthony Albanese?
Well, Anthony Albanese is the Prime Minister of Australia. I mean, it's very, very important to the Prime Minister, to the office of Prime Minister, that we have proper transparency and accountability for major decisions that involve Australia and, of course, the Australian community. So the Prime Minister is standing up for that very critical principle that underpins a functioning parliamentary democracy. I would think, and I mean, we already have seen ministers from previous governments come out and support Prime Minister Albanese in exactly that point. So what he's doing is what he should do, which is ensure that the documents are properly accounted for, find out why they weren't in the original package, as I say, probably an administrative failure, and then leave it to everybody to determine just how significant those documents are in the knowledge that we currently have about how we went to war.
Well, we'll wait and see if they do end up getting released. Allan Behm, thanks so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Kenny.